2000.
2000?
No,
99.
99. Yeah. So the world of online dating wasn't, spoke about or anything like that. So it was a bit taboo. And we'd been chatting on and off for a couple of months, and we still argue who said what, but one of us said, shall we meet? And I spoke to my friend and I said, what's he like? She said, he's a really nice bloke apart from his God complex. So I said, what do you mean by that? She said, he knows everything. He's never wrong. I'm thinking, okay, interesting. But no, when I first met him, it just clicked, didn't it? It just worked.
Yeah.
I think I'm quite a laid back person most of the time. I'm not saying all the time. It was quite, not accepting, but it was just how you were.
Yeah.
How you are.
Yeah. And it worked. It was great. It's been great. And we've been together, 16, 17 years by the time that the subject of autism came up. So after I'd done the online tests, when I saw my GP was dismissive to start with. Why do you need to know now? There was another trigger as well. Another trigger was my boss had described me in front of somebody else as the policy freak, because I'm one of those people that can read an insurance policy wording without falling asleep. I can understand it, I can interpret it, I can apply it in the real world. So I'm a technical person as well as a salesperson.
You're like a sponge with information. Once he's read it, he retains it. And I'll sit here listening to him just reciting bits of the policy wording to people, and it's like,
my daughter
look that
like
up.
That. My daughter like that, and she's 8. Yeah. Okay, she started reading when she was like not even 2, honestly. So I can, with everything that you said so far, I'm like, that's right, that's me. That's my daughter. That's in a way my son, and 100%.
Yeah, the policy freak thing was kind of, I found it hurtful, but he meant it as a joke. Now that's another thing, is that I don't get human communications because I didn't pick up that he was joking. So I took it serious. I took that seriously. That how people see me. And on top of the autism programs, then doing the tests, it was like, I've got to find out. So got knocked back by the GP. The GP told me to go and check with the National Autistic Society. Their website said your GP's got to refer you. So I went back to the GP and politely but firmly said, refer me. That was late 2017. Early 2018, did we go together? We went together to the first initial assessment, which is whether to then put you on the list for the full assessment. And at the end of that session, I was told that yes, pretty much I would be on the list for full assessment. So that was January 18. January 19 was when we actually did the 3 full sessions of assessment with a psychologist.
Go through all your childhood. And
I mean, luckily I had all my memories from my childhood. My memory is pretty good, so I couldn't involve my parents because my parents, like your parents, autism doesn't exist. It's not a thing. As far they couldn't separate autism from a head injury. My nephew has got behavioural issues, but then he had a brain injury as a child, and it's not to do with autism, which is genetic. It's to do with the actual injury. So I've not told my parents. I've left my parents out of it completely. They're in their late 70s. It's not really, it wasn't really relevant. I didn't need their input.
It wasn't worth the upset.
It wasn't worth the upset either. And we did the 3 sessions, and at the end of it, I've got a piece of paper that says I am ASC1, aka Asperger's. So yeah, I was very lucky that down here we get 3 follow-up sessions if we want them. The first one, and it's a group session. The first one is what is autism, to explain it to us. The second one is working out which bits of it you've got. So, I love heavy metal, so the sound one isn't a problem unless it's auto-tune. Bright lights, I have an issue with, so I have to duck at gigs occasionally so I don't get hit in the face by bright lights. Touch, I've got touch issues. My main one is interoception, which is my brain ignores messages from my body. So if I'm focused on something like work or Lego or whatever, my body will say, I'm hungry, I need to go to the bathroom, you need a drink. My brain will just go, sorry, we're busy on something else. And it's when I've finished that all these messages come crowding in, and it's like, what do I do for? It's usually bathroom first. And then food and drink.
That's really interesting, because I'm like that, but I never thought it was an autistic trait. Do you know what I mean? I get so engrossed on something that I'm doing, and then I finish that. You know, there's a start and an end. I finished. Oh, okay, and then everything's like, you're hungry. You need to do that. You need this. All the your basic needs, and then I get very overwhelmed because I don't know which one I'm going to do first.
It has to be focus.
Yeah, it is. See, this makes so much sense. That's why, honestly, I really wanted to have this conversation. Because, it's so important there, because a lot of people out there that don't really understand why they behave the way they behave, and could be autistic. So for yourself, knowing, right, I'm autistic, definitely know what is going on, how did that make a change in your life?
It made a change in my working life, because I told my boss, I told some people at work. I haven't necessarily told everybody I work with, because it doesn't really affect them. But I mean, things like now, Roz checks, have I eaten? Have I had a drink? You know, make sure that I don't get too focused. It's when she's not around that I tend to have issues. And the other couple of ones that were, because you've got the basic 5 senses, but the other 3 are interoception, spatial awareness. You'll find autistic people are clumsy.
Yeah.
Because but it's an autistic trait.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and also another one could be balance. And I mean, I can ride. I ride a bicycle. I've ridden bicycles all my life, but we've just sold a tricycle, an adult's tricycle, to a lad who is autistic, and he can't ride a normal bike because he has balance issues. So, and his dad sent me pictures of him bombing around the fields on this trike.
And you can see he leans over, doesn't he? Or he just, bless him, can't sit straight on it. But he's having the time of his life. But
so those are the extra sensory ones I was told about during my post-autism. The three were what it is, your own particular flavour, so picking the bits of the spectrum that apply to you and the bits that don't apply. And the last one was how to tell people and where to get extra help if you need it. I mean, touch wood, I've been very lucky. I've, worked all my life. We have a house, we have cars, we have a good lifestyle, and we're quite lucky from that point of view. But there are other people in the group who obviously were struggling with it, who needed more help.
I think you knew before. You just needed the confirmation, didn't you? So I think you'd already kind of prepared yourself for, this is it, this is how I am, this is who I am. You have relaxed more around me with it,
and other people,
you're not,
there's more flapping hands about, which is
another trait,
the spinning. So I always, in meetings, I do that and sit across my finger and deliberately hold on to it, hold it in so I don't do it. But it's been useful for to actually know. I've got the lanyard, I've got the card. I can wear a mask most of the time, but there are occasions. There's been odd occasions where I've had to go to get something from the shops where I couldn't face putting a mask on, so I put on my sunflower lanyard to explain to people that I can't. I'm exempt because I'm autistic. The other one was a download, Download Festival. Their wristbands. I hate things that are too tight. And 2018, the person putting the wristband on was like, I'm like, look, I'll put my fingers there. Please tighten it down to where my fingers are, because I know that's how tight I like it. And she's like, move your fingers. I don't want you taking it off and giving it to somebody else. And we had there was a bit of a Mexican standoff. Whereas 2019, fast forward a year, I'm autistic, I have sensory issues, please only tighten it down to my fingers, no problem at all. So knowing has helped in my everyday life from that point, those points of view. It's
definitely been a positive, I think, for you.
Yeah.
It's not been a negative. We haven't encountered any negativity towards you or the autism at all, have we?
No. Been quite lucky from that point of view. But my attitude is this is additional information that I am incorporating to go forwards. Whereas in the group sessions I did, there were a few people, mainly younger people, who were like, my life to now has been a lie, because they didn't know. And it's like, well, I don't see it that way. They took it very, very, very hardly, and were like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what to do. And I can see how some people could take it that way, but that's just not me. It's like, right, I've got this information. What do I do with it?
I guess that's the way. It's another autistic trait, isn't it? When you take things so personally. And for me, growing up, like, I find all this so fascinating. Because for me, growing up at school, like, if someone like said something to me and they were saying in a joking matter, even though if they were laughing, but it was what they said, I'd start crying because I thought that they were being serious, that they didn't like me. So I would run away and cry. But then, then growing up, it was like, oh, they don't like me, but they were laughing at me and saying mean things. That's how my brain worked. So it was like, I would run away. That was my response. I would just run away, go to the other side of the playground. But because then my teacher would come and say, what's wrong? And then they said, no, they were joking. They were, they weren't being mean. They were saying this and that and the other. But it's like, well, no. And then it got to a point where I could understand, and she's like, what are you crying for? And these words always stuck with me. Someone that's supposed to be taking care of me, such as a teacher, say, what are you crying for? Don't be such a baby. It's like, what? It was horrible. But again, it's that generation at the time that didn't really understand what these sorts of behaviours were. For me personally, I did not know what autism was until I met Scott, my husband, because he used to work. Before, when we were dating many years ago, before we got together and stuff, he used to work in a special needs school with teenagers with autism and ADHD, that sort of thing, and behavioral issues. So he would tell me what these things were, but obviously someone telling you and you living it is different. And he was telling me, oh, it's this and that and the other. It's like, oh, okay. It was until I met the kids that he used to work with, then I started to understand what autism was. But then obviously it wasn't something that it was directly in my life. So yes, I understood what it was, but I didn't really understand what it was, if that makes sense. And it was until like the diagnosis of my son, then I started researching these things a little bit more. And then as my daughter started to, growing up, and I always thought, oh, she's just such a clever girl. But then she is a clever girl, but it was more of like I started to learn the difference between meltdowns and tantrums, because there's a big difference there. And I didn't know that. I thought it was just my kid misbehaving, because of what I went through as a child with, I would, my mum would discipline me for being naughty, but I was just emotional. It was just a meltdown rather than a tantrum.
Yeah.